Let's go. Masechet Ketubot Daf Amud Aleph. We just were speaking about that you're not allowed to do weddings, right, on Mosei Shabbat. And why are you not allowed to do weddings on Mosei Shabbat? Is because of Cheshbonot. What does it mean, Cheshbonot? Imagine right now we're going to start doing Cheshbonot of how much does this cost, how much does that other thing cost. Elmaleh, Rabbi comes and he asks the following questions. It's a mitzvah to get married. So it's a mitzvah to get married, right? So therefore, even if you're going to go now to the caterer and you're going to start telling him, you know what, I want this, I want that, it's a mitzvah. There's no isur, correct? I thought he's going to tell me it's a mitzvah for parnasah. No. It's a mitzvah to get married. So if it's a mitzvah to get married, so there's no problem. So says the Gemara, says another thing also, you're even allowed to give tzedakah for aniyim to Shabbat. By the way, this is how we got Shabbat into Masechet Ketubot. Did you guys realize already? I told you. It's called Shas Katan. We spoke about Yivamot, we spoke about Shabbat, we spoke about we're going to speak about everything that you want, going throughout the entire Masechet Ketubot. Okay, very important. How to do poskim tzedakah l'aniyim b'Shabbat. Amar Rabbi Yaakov, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, says Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Yochanan, הולכים לבתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות ובתי רבים בשבת. You're allowed to go to the בתי כנסיות ובתי מדרשות to come and to be מעיין, right, in צורכי ציבור on שבת. ואמר רבי יעקב הריבי, אמר רבי יוחנן, says רבי יעקב הריבי, רבי יוחנן, מפחים בפיקוח, מפחים פיקוח נפש. He comes and he says, they're going to be מפחים פיקוח נפש בשבת. ואמר רשום ונחמן עם רבי יונתן, הולכים לטטיות כקיות וכנסי רבים בשבת. Also, you're allowed to go to the theaters and the circuses only on Shabbat, obviously, to be Mvakeach Niskerabim Shabbat. And you're not stopped to go to a theater and to go to the circus, but to come and to actually pay attention to say on Shabbat they're coming. So Cherabim, what do we have to do? Where do we have to go? What do we have to make? You do shiduchim also on Shabbat, right? And also the children to teach them sefer, to teach them umanut, even on Shabbat. So you see from here, anything to do with tzorchei Shabbat, tzorchei mitzvah, is mutar on Shabbat. So the cheshbonot that you just told me that you don't want to do it on Shabbat, that would be a suit. Cheshbonot should be mutar. So what is the problem? Cheshbonot, any cheshbonot permitted. If right now they're going to go to the caterer and they're going to start telling the caterer, right, that listen, this is the way that it is. So therefore, that's also permitted. So he says, you know what the gezerah is? Imagine right now you come to the caterer and you say, okay, fine, I'm going to have another 10 people. So he's going to charge you extra, right? Which is normal. Fine, no problem. You know, some caterers actually come and start counting the heads because they want to make sure that they get their, all their money. Yeah? So what happens though is that here, all of a sudden, you come to the caterer and you're saying, I have another 15 guests. Now, here is the test. Why is it the test? Because caterers, right? All of a sudden, imagine right now you come and you tell him he doesn't have enough food, right? He becomes very nervous because what? His entire reputation, his entire everything that goes on. So what's going to happen? We're going to suspect, right, that he's going to come and he's going to do a shechita in order to get more meat. There's not enough food. He needs more food. It's not like nowadays that you come and you just take from the supermarket and then you cook it. You understand? Mamash, there wasn't enough food. It's a problem. So now, when it's in the test, that's the test of the caterer. The test of the caterer is not when he's doing well. The test of the caterer is, right? The test of the caterer is that all of a sudden there's crunch time, right? He's in a bind, he's in trouble. So what's he going to do? He's going to cut corners, right? He's going to get this, yeah, he gets it from there, gets it from there. You don't even know. Or so all of a sudden now he might actually come and he might slaughter. So because of that, that's what we have. No, he's doing it on Shabbat. The wedding is for Moshe Shabbat. Elmaleh Abaye. So Abaye comes and he tells, right, Rabbi Zera, Ela mi'ata. So now we're going to come and we're going to suspect, right, that a person might forget and then he's going to do shechita. So Yom HaKippurim shechal yom b'sheni b'Shabbat. What happens now if Kippur comes out on Monday? Yeah, if Kippur comes out on Monday, why doesn't it say come on? Why doesn't it say that it comes out on Sunday? You can't have it. Yeah. Sunday, exactly. You cannot come Kippur on Sunday, but on Monday it could become. So therefore, if Kippur comes out on Yom Sheni, Yidacheh, push it off. Why? Gezerah Shema Yishchot Ben Off. Right? It's a Gezerah. Maybe you're going to come, you're going to slaughter an off for the Seudah, which means you're going to forget, right? Because you need the Seudah of Yom Rishon. Right? Maybe you're going to come, you're going to forget, right? And then you're going to Shechita also. So answers the Gemara, yeah, Hatam over there, over there, right? The Seudah that you're preparing is only for yourself. So if you're not going to forget, however, though you have to remember, if it's to do with yourself, you understand? You're here by yourself. You're eating by yourself, right? Here, everyone's eating by themselves, right? So what? This is the Seudah for people. Seudah, right? Which is on Sunday. Which is on Sunday. Not Sunday night. Not Sunday night. Sunday. So that Masechet is Sunday, not Sunday night. Sunday night you're already Kippur. You're fasting. So one more time. Sunday. One more time. Sunday. What's happening is that since you're only preparing for yourself, you're not going to forget about the Shabbat, and therefore you're not going to do Shechita on Shabbat. However, though, the caterer is preparing for other people. When he's preparing for other people, he's a bulganer. He's nervous. Why? If I don't have enough food for myself, fine, okay, no big deal. But nothing happens. Here, he's got a reputation online. So therefore he's tarud. Yeah, he's tarud, right? He's this. So because of that, when he's being busy for other people, then we do suspect that he's going to forget about the Shabbat. Inami, or another answer. Yeah, another answer. Second answer, not because of cater, which means that for other people or for yourself. Inami, another answer. Hatam, to do Yom Kippur, itle ravcha. You still have time to do Shechita after the Shabbat. Why? Because you have time. When is the Seudah? Only the next day. It's on Sunday. Here, the Seudah is on Motzei Shabbat. Motzei Shabbat, there's no time. You understood? Meaning it all depends. Here we were talking about doing a wedding on Motzei Shabbat. So you don't do a wedding on Motzei Shabbat because of the Chilul Shabbat, right? But when do you do? When you do on Shabbat, so then here you don't have extra time. By the Kippur, you had all of Motzei Shabbat because the Seudah is only on Sunday. Here, right, when you're doing it on Motzei Shabbat, the wedding, so you don't have no time. So therefore, that's what we're going to suspect. You're going to do the Shechita on Shabbat itself. But now that you just came to the Svara, that maybe you have a Gezerah, that maybe you're going to come and you're going to do Shechita on Shabbat. Erev Shabbat Nami. Also, if you're going to do it on Leil Shabbat, the Yisur is also going to be Gezerah Shabbat Shchot, then off on Shabbat, the Nisuin, which means also, right, you're going to do that as well, which means we already brought down another reason, right, why you don't get married on the night of Shabbat, because of the Chabura. What does it mean, Chabura? Because when you have relations with her, right, you're taking her blood, and you're not allowed to do that on Shabbat. Here we're giving another reason, is because of what? Is because of maybe you're going to do Shechita, right, on Shabbat, which means that since on Friday night it's going to be the Seudah, so then you're not allowed to do the Shechita on Shabbat. So they're going to ask the following question. Okay? Betula. Nised barevi'i vegam nivelet barevi'i. Right? So he says like this. What did we just say? We just said the Betula is going to get married barevi'i. Okay? And nivelet barevi'i. Velo chayshina likure data. Or dilma Betula nised barevi'i venivelet b'chamishi. One more time. How do we start the Masechta? 1 second. Yeah? It says the Gemara. One more time. How did the Mishnah say? The Mishnah said, Betulan is said Yom Revi. Now, it didn't tell us when in Yom Revi. It just says on Wednesday. Yom Revi. So now the Gemara is going to ask, when we said in our Mishnah that we get married Wednesday, it means you could get married, let's say, Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. And then you have the relations also on the Wednesday as well. And we're not going to suspect that by the time it comes to Thursday morning, he's going to be more mellow. which means if he didn't find her to be a betulah, he's going to be more calm. Or do we say, no, really, be'emet, she gets married on Wednesday. But when do they have the relations? On Thursday, which means Wednesday night, right? Which is already Thursday. And then there, right? Why? Because then if it's only going to be on Wednesday night, so then the next morning he would come running to the dean. Because we do suspect that maybe he would come and he would calm himself down, right? Everyone understood the question. So the question is, you have to remember, there's something which is called keeping your cool. Sometimes at the beginning, right? And that's why they say for anger management, right? They say this is what you're supposed to do. What does that mean? Right? Instead of coming, getting angry right away, they come and tell you, wait, even if it's going to be for a few hours. What's enough coming here? A few hours. But you realize that few hours difference made a difference that we're suspecting of the kerude date or not. Right? So imagine what this is. Well, obviously, we don't want him to cool off. That was the entire purpose. Yeah? So now we have to find out. So what's halakha? So Tashim, now we're going to try to bring the proof. Right? Bar kapara. Yeah? So bar kapara, he comes and he taught a braita. Betulani said, Barnevi'i, Venivelet, Bahamishi. So it says like this. He says, Betula is going to get married in Revu. Venivelet, Bahamishi. So here it says Mekurash, right, that they're going to have the relations on the Wednesday night, which is already considered Thursday. Why? When was the bracha for the fish? Right? That it says right? That was on Yom Chamishi. So since it was going to be on Yom Chamishi, so they purposely have, just like the bracha, so they're going to have bracha on Yom Chamishi. So if they have relations on Yom Chamishi. Almanani said, Bahamishi. And Almanah is going to get married on Thursday. Venivele Bashishi. And she's going to have relations on the Thursday night, which is to be considered Friday. Because the bracha of by human beings was only on Friday. Okay? So says the Gemara, what do we say here? Here the entire purpose was because of bracha, but because of mishum ikur data, not because of ikur data, which means we don't suspect that now they're going to come, they're going to be calmed down, right? So you see from here that what? That the entire reason is only because of bracha. So one more time. There's bracha pirur vu to the fifth. When was that? Thursday. Bracha pirur vu to the human beings. When is that? Friday. Why wasn't it on Thursday for the human beings? Right? We want that the biyah, which is that's the fitting for the having children. So, but we want that it should be on Thursday for the betulah and for Friday for the almanah. So therefore, what happens now is that that's what we come and we say over here, that there's going to be this difference of when they're doing, but it's all because of beracha, not because of la kurudate. So ask the Gemara, if so, almanah nami tibal b'chamishi. Says 1 second. Why? So if you're already permitting the almanah to get married on Thursday, right? So let her have relations Thursday as well. She has bracha for the dagim, and says the Gemara, bracha da adam. It's better the bracha of a human being. So therefore, since you have the bracha of the human beings, so therefore that's much better. So therefore, right, that's going to be much stronger, right? So then I'm going to ask you a question. If the bracha of human beings is better, so why doesn't the betulah have relations on when? On Thursday night, which is Friday. Huh? Right? Because of the beti. Right? You answer the question. Ve'inami, or another explanation, Mishum Shakdu. Yeah, the caterers, what does that mean? We wanted the people to take care of the wedding. They shouldn't just run into a wedding like that. They have to prepare for a wedding. Why did we say that an almanah gets married on Thursday and she has relations on Thursday night, which is Friday? Because if you're going to tell me now that she has relations on Thursday in the afternoon, he's going to go to work on Friday. He's just going to leave her alone. So therefore they came and they made a special takana. What is the takana that they made? That for 3 days there's going to be simcha. Simcha for 3 days for an almanah. Right? What does that mean? 3 days he has to be Mesameach Ita. Chamishi b'Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, v'Shabbat. Understand? By the way, this is a very big misconception. What's a misconception? Right? You have to remember there's a difference between Simcha and Sheva Berachot. What does that mean? Some people come and they think, 1 second, they're both divorced. What? They're both divorced. So you do Sheva Berachot? No. Talut. That's exactly what I want to do. Very good. They're only the same day of the wedding. Right? He says, what does that mean? You're only doing the same day of the wedding for if it's an alman with an almana, or a garush with a grusha, or a garush with an almana, or an alman with a grusha. Anybody that is not a bachur or a betula, as long as one of them is not married before, you do Sheva Berachot. But if both of them, right? If both of them were married before, you don't do Sheva Berachot. You have 1 day of Sheva Berachot, which is the same day of the wedding, but you have 3 days of Simcha. But it's a misconception. Some people think, it's 3 days of Sheva Berachot. No. It's either 1 or 7. No, the Simcha is a takanat chachamim that we don't want. That they got married and all of a sudden he goes to work. So therefore, Simcha. What's Simcha? He doesn't go to work. He's Mesameach Ita. He has to come. He has to be Mesameach Ita. Okay? What's the difference between bracha and shaktu rachamim? So he says, you know what the difference is? Adam batel, a person that doesn't work anyway. If a person that doesn't work anyway, so we're not going to suspect that he's going to leave her by himself. So let her have relations on Thursday afternoon. So he said, anyway, he's a batlan. And there's a lot of batlani. You understand? So what happens? So therefore we say, and the person like this, you still want the bracha. You're right. We don't have the shaktu. You have bracha. Remember, shaktu means a tarchu. So before the shaktu was for a betula, that we wanted the people to prepare for a betula, a wedding, 3 days. Preparation. You don't want to run into a wedding without preparations. So that was the first shaktu. This shaktu is that we wanted also 3 days. 3 days of what? Simcha. Simcha prahu and almanah. Why? Imagine miskina almanah. She just got married. The next day, the husband's already going to work. That's called the wedding. That's not called the wedding. So therefore, what happens? 3 days, simcha. Wow, what's the difference between bracha and simcha? The bracha is not batlan. Not batlan. Anyway, he's not going to work. He doesn't work, right? He's a pensioner for the past 20 years. You understand? He just sits on, on his thing all day. You understand? So now what happens? He says, no, but even though he's an adam batel, he's not going to go to work, we still want them to have relations on Thursday night, which is Friday, because of the bracha of the Pidiyah for the Adam. Inami, another answer. Yom Tov Shechal Yom Erev Shabbat. When you have Yom Tov that falls out on Friday. Okay? So we're not going to suspect now that the Chatan is going to go to work. It's Yom Tov. It's Yom Tov. Right? So he's not going to go to work, but still there's bracha. So it's still better that they should have the relation on Thursday night because of the bracha. Darash bar kapara. Yeah? Darash bar kapara. Genomim Masechet Tzadikim. You know that it's much greater. The actions of the tzaddikim, even more than the actions of Shamayim Ba'aretz. What does that mean? To do with Masechet Shamayim Ba'aretz, it's written, Af yadi yaseda eretz v'mini tipeha shamayim. Also my hands, they created the foundation, right? Founded. Eretz, a land. And my right hand, tipeha shamayim. So it's mashma that everything was done with one hand. Yadi and v'mini. One hand, each time with one hand. But to do the Masechet of Tzadikim, Ketib it's written, Machon le'shiftecha, Pa'alta Adonai mikedash, Adonai kodnu yadecha. There it says yadecha. What does it mean yadecha? It's plural. What does that mean? It's mashma the Mikdash, which is Masechet Yedehem of the Tzadikim, was prepared with the yadav of the hands of the plural. Not one hand, 2 hands. So ask the Gemara, there was a Babylonian, and his name was Rabbi. He came and he said, what are you talking about? But it says in the Pesuk dealing, right? The Yabeshet, what's the Yabeshet? The land, right? The land was Yadav. Were created with his Yadav, with hands, plural. So what are you talking about then? So answers the Gemara, Yadoket. even though we read it Yadav, which is plural, but it's written in singular. Yado, it's without the vav in between the dalet and the waw. Yeah, so that's always it's Yadav. Yeah, it's Yadokti. So says, okay, fine. But it's still written Yatzaru. Yatzaru is Lashon Rabbi, still plural. Amrav Nachman bar Yitzchak, no. Yatzru, it's Neotav. It's on the fingers. The fingers is plural. You have much more than one finger, obviously. So if it's the fingers are plural. Kirchtiv, as it says in the pasuk we just said on Mosai Shabbat, Kireshamecha, Masechet Ketubot Daf, Konanta. What does that mean? You see over here that when I'm going to see the Shamayim, what is the Shamayim? Masechet Ketubot, the actions of your fingers. So since your fingers are plural, it says Yatzaru with plural. So Meitve, so now we're going to ask the following question, right on the Kapara. Hashamayim Mesaperin Kevod El U'Maaseh Yadam Gidarakiyah. What does it say over there? The Shamayim, the heavens, they're going to tell us over the Kevod El U'Maaseh Yadam. So you see here, it's written Maaseh Yadav. Yadav is plural, right? Magidarakiyah. So it's two hands. And so the no. Who's the one that's going to say the Maseh Dehem? Harakia. Again, here it's not Maseh Yadav. It's Maseh Dehem Shel Tzadikim. Who's the one that's saying it over? The Rakia, the firmament. Right? And what is that exactly? The Matar. When the Tzadikim, they come and they pray for rain, and then the rain, it rains, right? We're learning Ta'anit, yeah? When the Tzadikim come and they pray for rain, and then it rains, the Rakia, the firmament, is testifying on the tzedakah of, the tzidkutam of the tzaddikim. Okay, Darash Bar Kapara. Bar Kapara came and he expounded. My dichtiv, right? What does it mean when it's written? My dichtiv, what does it mean in the pasuk? V'yated tiyeh alecha ala zenecha. Listen to these words. It's a beautiful Gemara. V'yated is usually a peg. A peg is, you know, what those things that you put on the wall to hang up things? That's called a peg. So v'yated tiyeh alecha ala zenecha, you're going to have in your ears. Right? We were talking about ears before. Al tikri azenecha el al uznecha. Don't say al azenecha. Azenecha is klizayin, right? Armament, right? You're talking about the guns. Yeah? Al oznecha. Azenecha is armament. We're talking about armaments, weapons, right? So he says klizayin are weapons. Ela al oznecha, on your ears. What does that mean? Shein yishma adam davar she'en agud. Because if you hear something which is not proper, listen to this Gemara, beautiful Gemara. Yaniach etzba'o be'oznav. Put your fingers in your ears, right? You're cold. What do? No, when you hear, right? Exactly. Well, when a person comes and you hear something which is not proper, put your fingers in your ears. That's what it means, right? Yeah. Pegs going inside. And that's what Rabbi Elazar says. Why are a person's fingers domain to pegs? Why are the fingers made in such a way? It's like a peg. Why are they made like that? So he says, my tama, what's reasoning? If you're going to tell me now, because they are separated and therefore they're like pegs that they're not connected. So each one was done for a purpose. And that's why each finger was made a separate size. Every finger was done with a purpose. Yeah. So what is it? Yeah, you're right. Until when? He says, why? Because it says, the Tana says, Zuzeret. What is a zeret? A pinky. The pinky is called the zeret. Why is it called the zeret? It says because that's how we measure the zeret of the choshen of the Kohen Gadol. Okay, so the Torah comes and it says that the choshen is going to be zeret orko, the zeret rovbo. So the midat zeret, right, is obviously the exact opposite from where the budal is. Okay, therefore he comes and he says zeret is the half of an amah. Okay, so he comes and he says, right, zeret tichetzi yamayim. It says over here. Okay. So he comes and he says as follows. Okay, that's one. We're starting with the pinky. The pinky is called the zeret. Next one, right? What is this one? The kmitza, right? What is the kmitza? Because that's how the Kohen is going to do the kmitza. He comes and he goes like this, right? And he takes the kmitza. So this is how he's taking it with the kmitza. Okay? That's how he's going to do the korban mincha. The next one, the middle finger. What's the middle finger? The amah, right? This is called the amah. Why? It's going to be, right? That's how they did the amat binyan in the Mishkan. It's the tallest finger, right? And that's how they actually measure, right? All the measurements of the amah. Okay? Fine. Now he says, right? Yeah. Now he says the next one, which is this one, is the etzba. What is the etzba? He comes, it's etzba stam, that's stomach finger, right? But that's when the Torah always mentions, whenever it's going to be a finger, it's a etzba. And that's where they put with the etzba, the matan damim korban chatat. Remember that you have to take with the korban chatat, you have to come and you have to take with the etzba. What etzba? This is the etzba. Okay? Now he comes and he says, the last one, which is the thumb, which is the boil. The boil was what when we have the blood. No, I have boil yado, the boil raglo. The boil is shtembo. Boil is also for the etzba, right? For this one, for the budal, and also for the raglaim. You have both of them. So he says, since there's a tafkid for each one, right? For sure, the Elazar did not have a kavanah. Why Benet are separate? Each one had a kavanah as the thing. Ela matam meshupot ketubot. What's the reasoning why, right? That smaot are like yetidot, which means they're meshupot, they slant, right? Which means they become mitkatzrot, right? They become shorter. So he comes and he says, "Shmishma adam devar sheni yakun yadiach etzbeotav beoznav." Person comes and he puts his fingers inside of his ears. Says, 1 second, why is it that the ear is hard, right? The ear is hard, but all of a sudden now the aliyah is soft. Why is this part soft? He says, why? You put it inside. You come, you put it inside. Why do you put it inside? So we don't hear negative things. Right? Somebody comes and you start speaking negative things, right? All these nonsense. What do? You come, you put it inside, that's a gemara. Okay? Fine. We learned in the Brighton. Do you know if a person is going to listen to the Dvarim B'Telim, right? Because they comes, right? And it's going to burn much quicker than all the other evidence. We know that the ears are actually the most sensitive, right? That's why when a person goes to Montreal, right? Or to Toronto, for example, they have to be very, very careful. Earmuffs. Why earmuffs more than anything else, right? Maybe we should get earmuffs. They lose ears. Why? Because it's the most sensitive. The first thing that freezes, right, are the ears. Right? And that's why a person could be there for hours, he doesn't realize all of a sudden his ear is frozen. You come and you go like this, stop, and the entire thing just cracks. The entire thing just comes down. Mamash like that. Why? Because don't try that home. Yeah, he says why? Because mamash, that's the most sensitive. So he says, okay, but they're also they get burnt the quickest also, right? From all the evarim as well. Okay? So now he comes and he says, right, as follows. Here actually there's a beautiful Chavetz Chaim. I'll tell you over the Chavetz Chaim. The Chavetz Chaim explains when a person sins, he brings tum'ah on that memory, on that organ. This tum'ah makes a fire, a spiritual fire, which is like the fire of Gehinnom. So just like an Esh Tashmit is when it starts in a house, right? It first takes things which are easily burns. So too the Esh of Gehinnom. The Ever Shemitmat Chila Bechet Na'aseh Muchal Likavot Chila Libe Esh of Gehinnom. So that memory, that organ, which was easily to come and to do the sin, that gets burned first with the Esh of the Gehinnom. So when a person comes and he hears, right, dvarim which are not proper, since those 9 are the first thing which does the chet, so they become tameh beginning, and therefore they're the first which are going to be burning in Gehinnom. That's what's brought down in the Shmirat HaLashon, Shara Zechira Perek Yodale. Okay, fine. Even though there's obviously here we're talking about dvarim she'agunim and dvarim betelim. Okay, fine. Says now the Gemara. So now we're going to go back to the original concept that we spoke about. Are you allowed to have relations the first time on Shabbat or not? Meaning, okay, fine. Let's say they got married on the Wednesday night, or they got married on Thursday, or it doesn't matter when they got married. Can they have the first relations on Friday night or not?
Because
okay. So says the Gemara, Dam mifkat pakid or chabure mech. We thought that it was because of the chabura. You're not allowed to do a chabura, which means you're breaking the hymen, blood is coming out, and then you have a problem. But the question is, do you say that the dam is mifkat pakid, which means that it's like you have a balloon or a bubble of blood, right? And what happens is, imagine right now I take a balloon, fill it up with blood, and I put it inside it. And now you say that the blood is just there. It's dam mifkat pakid, which means that you're not making a chabura. You're not breaking something and inflicting a wound to take the blood out. It's already there in a sack, and all you have to do is you pop the bubble, and the blood comes out, right? So do you say dam mifkat pakid, or do you say chabure mechbad? That maybe the dam betunim is you have to destroy something, and just like a wound, you come and you destroy your wound, right? You inflict the wound, blood comes out. So that's the question. Now, if it's going to be chabure mechbad, you have a problem of Kabbalah, right? Chabure, you're not going to make Kabbalah on Shabbat. If you're only going to say dam mifkat pakid, it's like you're opening up the door. You open up the door, blood comes out, big deal. So you're allowed to or not. So the even if you're going to tell me now dam mifkat pakid, that it is going to be dam mifkat pakid, ledam utzarich b'shad. At the end of the day, you want the blood. So if you want the blood, it should be permitted then, right? Because you want the blood, and that's exactly what you want. Or you just need the entrance. You need to make an entrance so you come in and out, right? You always want to walk in and out, no? The store should always be open, right? So he says over here, maybe you need the entrance, right? Vasid, and therefore it's going to become asur to do it on Shabbat because you're making a new entrance on Shabbat. You're not to make an opening on Shabbat. Not to make it, no, to open up shop on Shabbat. So that's the question. What's halacha? Okay. So he says now, 1 second. Even if you're going to tell me now you're doing it for the dam. And now the petach is coming on its own. Meaning, really, maybe we say one more time. We had a few different things in the spekot. We're doing like a spek. Yeah. Number one is dam mifkat pakid or chabura mechbad. Is the blood like in a bubble, or is it that you have to mamash make a chabura and then you take out the blood? Even if you're going to tell me it's the dam is like mifkat pakid, which means it's a reason to be matir. Do you need the blood and therefore it's permitted, or do you need the entrance? And you're not allowed to make a new entrance for Shabbat, so it's permitted. And even if you're going to tell me that you need the blood and the entrance is coming minela, which means naturally it came the entrance. He says, here, you don't have kavanah to make the entrance, but you need the entrance, right? What do you mean? That means by coming and taking out the blood, you just made the entrance. So the Rashi mitkaven is mutaros, the Rashi mitkaven is mutar, the Rashi mitkaven is going to be asur. Main thing, so and even I'm going to tell you that the halacha is going to be like what? Like Rabbi Yehuda, that it's going to be asur davar she'eno mitkaven. That means even though you didn't have kavanah to make the entrance, it's being made on its own. And the fact that the entrance is being made on its own, it should be asur. He comes and he says, you're being mekalkel, meaning, right, when you're coming and you're making this entrance in the body of the woman, you're mekalkel, right? Why? Because now you're taking away, you're degrading her. Before, she was a virgin. She lost her virginity. Now you're bringing her down a level, right? You just degraded her. She's not anymore the same, right? The same thing what she was once upon a time. Or metaken wetzel petach. Or maybe you're going to say that it's metaken by the petach in itself, because now, right, she can have relations without any problems. So is it metaken or mekalkel? Meaning, even if you're going to tell me that we pass like Rabbi Yehuda that the Varsha mitkaven is asur, is it metaken or is it mekalkel? Mitzad echad, it's mekalkel. Right now, she's not a betula anymore. But mitzad sheni is metaken. Now he can always have relations with her, and he doesn't have to, start hitting himself. Right? He's got easy access. Okay. So everyone understood all the different studying. Okay. So ikadam, there are those that say the imtim salomah, that there was another way of how you have the safek. What's the safek? The imtim salomah, even if you're going to tell me the other way around. The dam ichbar cheva, what does that mean? That it is dam ichabure mechbar, which means that really be'emet, it's not a dam ifkapati, it's chabure mechbar. The dam utzarich basur, you need the blood, and therefore it's going to be a sur. Or dilma lanat atzum utzarich, or maybe you're just doing it for your own hana. That means basically you're just doing it because you're enjoying yourself. You just got married, you have relations, and the dam betulim is some davar she'eno mitkaven b'shadim should be permitted. Now, even if you're going to tell me that he's doing it for his own pleasure, lanat atzum utzarich. The blood is coming on its own. Halakha Rabbi Yehuda, halakha Rabbi Shimon. Halakha is like Rabbi Yehuda, or the halakha is like Rabbi Shimon, which means do we say the halakha like Rabbi Yehuda, davar shemikaven is going to be asur, or the halakha is going to be like Rabbi Shimon, that what? That it's going to be permitted. Davar shemikaven is mutar. Meaning, so maybe you're going to tell me the halakha like Rabbi Yehuda, davar shemikaven is asur, mekalkel b'chabura. Do you say that at the end of the day you're mekalkel, which means you're making it worse, so therefore it should be mutar, or metaken b'chabura, or you be metaken? Why? Because now you can have more relationship. The intims are never going to tell me that it is mekalkel b'chabura. The mekalkel is the halakha like Rabbi Yehuda, or not? Is the halakha like Rabbi Yehuda, or not? Or halakha could be Shimon, or the halakha could be like Rabbi Shimon, right? Baba Mudalef on the top. So bever Rav brings to the psak halakha, and Rav they went and they said Rav Share, Rav permitted having relations the first time on Shabbat. Shmuel Asar, Shmuel said it's prohibited. And Nadav they said Rav Asar, and Shmuel said it was going to be mutar. So basically, we have a whole bunch of questions. Mutar, so believe that tomorrow we'll continue with the halakha.